So I'm just going to talk you through how the breath works. So there's a big muscle shaped like a mushroom that sits under your ribs. This muscle is called the diaphragm. We have no conscious control over this muscle, but it's very important when it comes to breathing. So when we take a deep breath in, the diaphragm presses down and it puts pressure on the organs underneath. So when you take a deep breath in, you'll feel your belly moving out. As the air is released, the diaphragm moves back into its neutral position, just sitting under the ribs. So it's down on the in-breath and then relaxing back up on the out-breath. Okay, so the type of breath that we use for breathing is very specific. So it's always in through the mouth and you're breathing into your belly or your lower abs. It's sometimes called belly breathing or abdominal breathing. So obviously we're not really breathing into our stomach, we're breathing into our lungs, but visualizing breathing into your belly is a really good way to take a really nice deep breath in. So you might want to invite your students to just visualize that they're breathing into the lower abdominals. So if you just ask them to do a few breaths of that. And just see how deep that breath is. So it's always important when singing to breathe through the mouth. And this traditionally used to be called the happy surprise. So that basically is just as it sounds. It's almost as if someone's made you jump or someone's given you a present that you weren't expecting and you're just taking a quick deep breath through your mouth straight into your belly. Just like that. So you're keeping everything nice and relaxed and all that's going to happen is your belly is just going to come out, okay? Another exercise that you can use just to get children into the correct technique of breathing for singing is called a panting dog. So I'm going to demonstrate that to you. It's basically exactly as the exercise suggests. You're just going to pant like a dog and then you're going to slow that breath down. And so then you can ask your students just to feel where that breath is going and how it works. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate that to you. Starting out panting like a dog, normal speed. Then slowing that breath down. Just feeling the cold air on the back of your throat all the way into your lower abs. Another way to check if you're breathing correctly is just asking your children to take their hands and put them on their ribs. So it's quite high up on your ribs. And if you just watch my hands and see what happens to them. So I'm just going to do this slow pant like a dog breath. Okay, so as you can see, my hands come out as my ribs expand to allow for to make space for the lungs. And as the air leaves my body, the ribs come back to neutral again. Okay, so let's just do that a couple more times. So in, the ribs expand outwards. And then out, the ribs come back to resting position. You can also do this with your hands on your waist, and this time it goes the opposite direction. So as you breathe in, as your ribs come out and everything lifts up, your waist is going to come in, and then as you breathe out, your belly is just going to like collapse and relax outwards. Okay, so let's just try that. So in terms of posture, it's really important to let everything be nice and relaxed. So I always say to have your feet at hip width apart, Knees aligned over your feet or over your ankles, hips aligned over your knees and shoulders over your hips. And if I can just show you from the side, it's really important that your chin is aligned with the ground or with the floor. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that from the side. So your chin's nice and aligned in neutral. It's not down on your chest. It's not sticking out like this. Everything should be really perfectly relaxed. So now I'm just going to show you a few different exercises that you can do with the children to help them think about the way they breathe and the correct posture for breathing.